And we're live. Well timed. Very well timed.
Very already there.
Very unlike us.
Oh.
But Stabby's back this week, so we should have, some content lined up, some really sick shit.
I've actually got some pretty good articles that I think you guys will get a good laugh out of.
Yeah, Hart's going to be a little bit late. I think he's stuck in traffic, although he is still tweeting. So, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he'll die.
Are we going to leave?
Who knows? Maybe he'll die.
maybe we'll be on one of those commercials where it's like, this is the last thing he tweeted. And it's just it's a retweet of the podcast is starting now.
Yeah, don't use your phone and drive is essentially what will end up happening.
Yep.
It's a commercial for that.
On the plus side, we'll get a lot of viewers, I think.
Nice.
Those commercials are nationwide.
So it was worth it.
Yeah.
That's the button I want. Woohoo! So I'm ready when you are for the presentation. I got it queued up and ready to go, sir.
Yeah, I've got you highlighted. You can go ahead.
24 or 22 questions that black people have for white people answered by a white guy.
Yay!
Oh wait, we should tell them about the video first. There's this there's BuzzFeed video out there, and they like to. I don't know what the fuck they like to do. It's really anyway. They'll bring like minorities of some kind on, and then they'll get to either ask questions to like the majority group or answer questions angrily that they usually get. Hey. And this is one of the former videos where they get to ask the questions, and they're incredibly racist.
Oh, that's right up our alley.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like that. It's that reverse racism that they claim isn't really racism.
It's not reverse racism. It's just racism. Reverse racism would be tolerance.
Yeah.
Hey, don't bring logic into this, Stabby.
I'm just saying it's annoying because it's not reverse racism because they're black. It's just racism. Because that's what humans do sometimes. Humans are racist occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those wacky things. I'll tell you, Asians have
those
a lot of
wacky
racism.
Humans.
There's a lot of Asians that are way super racist against like other Asians, black people. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember.
Like they're way better at being racist than the white people are for the most part. It's
Chinese
pretty
and Japanese
fucking intense.
Fucking hate each other.
Oh God.
Yeah, Noja was he was translating this comment section from a Korean video about the Japanese, and it was just brutal. Like things that if you said in the Western world would end up on the news or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
YouTube commenter harasses brave black man.
Anyway, back to the presentation. Okay, so for the sake of funny, we're going to ignore the blatant racism of assuming that all white people are the same, and thus any one white person would be a reasonable enough proxy to answer all these questions accurately for the rest of the white people. I guess black people think all us whiteys look the same.
Hey, look, you have your token minority woman in the back there.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that. That's a good catch.
I'm cool with speaking for all white people.
I just went for triplets.
Totally okay with
that whole, all Asians look the same thing, and I guess black people think white people look the same.
Well, they do.
See, why do you always make such horrible decisions in horror movies? That's the first question that black people are for white people. So first, I hope you realize that those are fiction and not real. Second, wouldn't the story be incredibly boring if it was just some teens that went to a weird place to fuck and then called the police to arrest a creepy homeless man that scared them a little? It wouldn't be a very good movie. It wouldn't be nearly as entertaining.
Not as entertaining as Lon Chaney. I
would rather see that one, though.
Actually, it does kind of sound like it'd be interesting because we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, just like a 22-minute movie. This is what should happen.
Let's see. Why do you freak out when black people are cast to play white fictional characters? And then my answer to that is I don't really care so much about a black actor playing a traditionally white character, and I bet you would all throw a shit fit if a white actor was cast in the remake of The Cosby Show. If they had a white guy playing Cosby in a remake of that show, I bet they would throw the fucking window.
Yeah.
Just everything would go out.
Well, strangely enough, they actually answered this question with another question they asked way later, and with a much more angry tone.
Well, yeah. Can I answer the question seriously?
Wait. Let me finish. Also, I would much rather see a new story and not a story that's already been told 50 million fucking times. I don't really care. I just want to see new stories. I don't want to see the same story again. If you want to throw in an answer, go for it now. Yeah.
Okay. Because the niggers are going to take over everything if you let them.
God damn it,
The white
that's not
folk.
serious at all.
They're taking our culture. It's genocide.
Taking the white people's culture away from us.
It's like with them art.
All
Wow.
right. So the next question: why is a big butt and big lips considered attractive on a white woman, but they're unattractive on a black woman?
What?
My answer: I don't really see how a personal preference can possibly have anything to do with racism. I know I don't find that particular combination attractive on anyone at all. It's kind of gross. Also, do you find all white men attractive? No, so you are a racist bitch then, right?
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
A lot of these just come down to the people asking the questions feeling really insecure and being ugly.
So
Yeah.
wait,
Oh yeah.
If they weren't
butts
so
and lips are not attractive?
You see the giant big lips on the fish?
Huh.
I thought that was a good find on the picture.
This is news to me.
No, I personal preference is apparently racism now. You can't not like somebody or be attracted to somebody if it's considered socially unacceptable.
Yeah.
Do y'all think Miley is the one who created twerking? God, no. And frankly, I find it offensive that you think all white people are that ignorant.
Is he presenting
Also-
her ass?
Yeah, pretty much. Also, fuck you for creating twerking. Every time I
Yeah.
see a butt clapping, I can't help but think fart sounds are going on in my head.
You know what it looks like? It looks like it's one of those instructional conga videos, and he's playing those two drums.
Oh, who fucking knows? It's just some weird ass picture.
I'm mad that they created twerking because I see like 5-year-olds doing it, and it's
It
what?
looks like it smells bad. Does that
Yeah,
make
they're-
sense to anybody?
Those 5-year-olds, they're trying to get you in that Jared Fogle trap.
Oh god.
But am I wrong? Does it not look like it just smells bad in a room full of twerking people?
Butts
Yeah, I
don't
don't know.
smell good, but as a general rule.
Like, you know, at least like maybe at bare minimum 20% of the people in that room full of twerkers didn't wipe their ass properly,
Oh,
and
yeah.
now they're fucking creating like friction and sweat and
But
fucking
I think it's
airflow and
good in a way because it'll make people double check if they have skid marks or whatever. That you.
oh god,
you gotta
I
get
can't wait for the
like-
twerking video with skid marks all through the middle. Oh man, that'd be great. That's a fetish somewhere.
Yeah, you don't want to be that one girl who gets little rubs of shit everywhere, so you're gonna wipe thoroughly.
Yeah. Why am I supposed to teach you how to twerk? Oh God, it's getting worse. I'm trying to get people to teach me things in my sleep again. Seriously, one person asking does not equal an entire race. Learn how to count without using your fingers and toes.
Also, isn't that like, hey, this is a part of your culture. Can you teach me a part of your culture?
No, that's racist. What are you talking about? Wait, no. For you, that would only be halfway racist.
I don't know. I'm confused right now. Do I get to answer these or not?
Half of them.
All right, so I'll pick my half. I'll pass on this one.
Oh, whoops. I skipped one there. Let's go back. Why is it that white people act as though they've discovered a new trend when people of color have been doing it for virtually years? I don't know why they put virtually years. Either it is or it isn't. That's really not a one of those like vague concepts.
It's on the internet. It's all virtual now.
So my response to that is easy. Our bad. We'll stop getting excited about things you liked before they were cool. Also, I'm going to need your contact info so I can ask you what I'm allowed to be excited about, what I can enjoy just in case. You
Yeah.
insufferable
Massive.
cunty prick.
So how many black people do you have to contact to be absolutely sure that you're not stealing a trend?
I don't know, but I'm gonna have to start getting a phone tree going.
You know, we should make a social network for that. This is what white people are allowed to do, and this is what you are not.
Yeah. Why is it that when a black woman wears her hair natural, it's considered inappropriate, but when a
I
white
think-
woman does, it is praised?
I think that's a dude. Also,
Yeah, it is a dude. I
You
put in
got-
Fro, and that was the picture I picked because he
you
looked.
got
Is
my
he in
high
the
school
Black
picture.
Panthers? He looks like he's in the Black
No, this is my high school picture from 1986.
Let's see. Oddly, in my
1976.
35 years on this planet, I've never heard anyone say or even infer that. Seriously, I've heard some fucked up racism. Hell, I even had a guy tell me it was okay and not my fault that some of my family wasn't white while continuing to tell me racist jokes.
I think they're confusing inappropriate with ugly on me.
Yeah, really. Gosh, I guess one person being a cunt doesn't make the entire race a cunty race.
What?
Cunty race.
That's crazy.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that white crime is seen as an isolated incident, but black crime is a representation of my entire community? I answer that with, I don't know. That is a good question. My best guess is the respective percentages of the total populations is drastically different. Maybe it's the fact that black people make up almost 50% of the people in prison in the U.S., yet are only 13% of the total population in the country.
Yeah, and define community too. Like, I think it's pretty racist to just lump all black people. You know, if you're from Chicago or Miami, you're just the same as that blackie. You know, all you blackies, you just.
Well, I mean, there's reasons why that's really not a fair point, to be honest. And there's a lot of things that are illegal that really shouldn't be, and there's a lot of pressure on police to arrest black people.
Yeah.
Isn't this just the difference between
more than to arrest white kids in fucking suburbs? So I mean, there's a lot of issues going on there, but
isn't this just the difference between looters and finders? Like white people are finding things, and black people are looting things.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're both doing the same shit.
Why does talking about race make you feel so uncomfortable?
See, hold on. There's a finders, keepers, looters, weepers joke that was just hanging there. I couldn't let it go.
Oh, okay, there you go. My answer to that is it doesn't ever make me uncomfortable. My guess, though, is you choose only to talk to weak-minded people that are intimidated by potentially being called racist, regardless of the veracity of that claim, because you are terrified of having your small-minded racism called out for what it really is.
Yeah, just if you think that's true, just go watch like a Republican debate or something.
Oh yeah, they'll talk about race all the time in some of the worst ways possible.
Yeah, I saw Bill Burr was on Conan and he said that he was like, yeah, that's why I like the Republican Party. You know, they're just kind of a bit more honest about their prejudices. You know, they're pushing. He said they're pushing people down steps, and you know, this was made for me. God made this for me. It was good when he told it.
They're assholes, and they let you know about it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like stealth assholes.
Wear it up on your sleeve and stuff.
Hey, special guest star.
Right, so,
hey!
Yeah, finally decided to show up, huh?
Oh, up yours.
You didn't show up last week, Stabby, at all.
I know. That's why I'm making a
yeah,
deal
wait a
out of
minute.
it. Come on.
Let's look at the attendance list on this one. We actually have a recording.
Let's not.
It's okay.
Not look at the attendance list.
So the next question was, you don't really believe that racism is over because we have a black president, do you?
Yes.
And I decided, are you really going to take the most overused shitty punchline for the last 7 years of hack comedians' shitty jokes seriously? Good. I can't be bothered explaining why that is stupid as shit, and it amuses me to no end that you get angry over that. That's my answer to that question.
But racism can't exist anymore. He's a black president.
Yeah.
He's not even totally black. He's like black and Hawaiian.
Oh.
Yeah, he was raised by his white mom. I don't.
Oh, is he black and white? I thought he was black and Hawaiian mix.
No, he's white.
So it's not Canadian bacon, it's just regular bacon?
Yeah.
I think in Canada it's back bacon.
Well, my baby back.
Next question that was on there was, why is it so easy for you to notice when there are no white people around, but you hardly ever notice when there are no black people around? My answer to that is, wow, do you really hang out and take census data with your friends? That sounds boring as fuck, and also a little creepy. Also, I'm not giving you my personal info or my wage details, you freak.
Yeah, and just, there's an easy solution to that. Just don't hang around white people. If you don't like them, just don't be around them.
I don't even understand this question.
What are you asking?
A stupid question. So these are okay for Hearth. We'll catch Hearth up. So BuzzFeed put up a video a while ago that was 24 questions black people have for white people, and it was just absurdly racist, like against racist towards white people. And so I felt the need to make our presentation this week an answer to those questions. I'm a white guy. I'm answering the questions.
Yeah.
So why is your goal to be colorblind is the next question. I think this is actually a colorblind test or something.
Yeah, I can't see anything in the lower left-hand one.
Yeah, same.
Oh, no. This is representation of what colorblind people see.
I need to go to a doctor.
So if you were colorblind, the bottom left is what you would see all the time for the top.
Gay.
Instead of
this
the top
like
left.
So it's just like one big color of vomit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I have a friend who's like, what is it, like red-blue colorblind or something like that? Like, can't see the difference between red and blue?
Red and green for some people, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it is red and green. Yeah, it's red-green, I think.
Is your friend a K9?
No, he's just like a real specific colorblindness.
He's K8.
Oh, he's a really loyal friend.
K8, reporting for duty.
He's waiting for an update.
And so my answer to whether or not why is my goal to be colorblind? Because I hate primary colors with a vengeance. Also, being a little fucked up but not really deformed gets you mad pity fucked.
Does it?
No, I don't know. It just sounded funny.
You're like, hey, baby, I'm colorblind.
No, I think
Like, ooh.
you need to have like a visible scar that's not too bad.
Oh, you're right. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my
I
bad.
got one of those.
It's the eye patch.
And then we have a nice cotton field in the background here.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Appropriate. Why do you want to say the N-word so badly? Because I'm not supposed to say it.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's why
It's
so many things
offensive.
are fun, like fucking in public. You aren't supposed to do it, so it's exciting, and try
yeah.
it and not get caught.
And the lady's point after she asked this was, I don't use it. Why do you want to use it? Like she speaks for all
It's
black
the
people.
stupidest
ever.
fucking thing I've ever heard.
You could try not to get caught, or you could just do what we do and make a fucking YouTube channel based on it.
That's like well, I don't like anal sex. Why do you like anal sex? Well, because we're not the same person, stupid.
What?
And you know,
I'm not a
Individuality.
fan of it, but
Yeah.
you know, other people do it, and it really doesn't fucking bother me because it's none of my fucking concern.
I insist that we be the same person.
Oh,
We
God, it
all
was so
must be
ridiculous.
robotic. Like that guy in the middle.
the same.
How boring would it be if everyone agreed on everything anyways?
Oh
Oh.
God, it would just be awful. And it would just be like stasis. There'd be no reason to do anything.
It'd still
and
be
here-
stuck in the 50s or some shit.
Yeah. The next question: why do you always want to touch our hair? I don't really.
What?
So, as a man who has shaved his head a bunch of times, I will
What?
tell you that some people walk up and touch my head without asking. Also, I've seen people walk up and touch pregnant women's bellies a bunch of times. Some people just don't get boundaries. Don't you think it's just a little racist to say that it's only white people
Who
that
the
do that?
fuck
Yeah.
is going around touching other people's
No.
hair?
You know, it does
Just a-
happen
it's
a
a
little
small
bit,
group
but
of
it's
people.
not.
I've never
It's
done
not
that
like-
to anyone ever. Regardless of race or gender. Like,
Well, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. It's something that happens to guys that shave their heads or have bald heads, and it's also something that happens to pregnant women. It's not just like black people like touching
you're-
black people's head. There's just this small group of people with
because
no
you're
personal
slightly
boundaries.
different from the norm, I guess.
There's
Yeah, I
just
mean-
a small group of people that just don't get it. I've seen it. It's fucking bizarre. They'll just walk up and put their hands on like a pregnant woman's stomach. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I want to see that happen one time.
That's
and a
weird.
pregnant woman's just like an MMA fighter and takes him down.
Oh, I've seen people get slapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
You don't just
do
put
that.
hands on people.
Oh, and especially pregnant women. Their hormones are out
Yeah.
of control. Like,
Especially when
their
they have
hormones are all over the place.
a
Yeah,
baby
why
on
would you
board.
do that?
Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah, no,
no,
that's just weird.
It's
It's not
like,
really a white thing, though.
it's like
Ask
going up
first.
to,
Just ask first. That's not that
No,
difficult.
I don't like me personally. Just don't really surprise me when you like rub my head if my head's bald. I don't really care. It doesn't bother me. Like I've had a bunch of people do it, but it's just like don't take me completely by surprise because I tend to react violently. It's not like just don't take it personal if I swing on you. It's mainly because usually I'm aware of when people are going to do it, but sometimes if you get me completely by surprise, I might swing on you, and I won't even know I'm doing it until after it's done. And it'll feel really bad too.
Is that guy in the middle picture the agent that watches us?
I don't know. He was the one I found that was like the most bald though, and it was like shiny and stuff.
the most
so.
bald.
All right, so,
All right,
he's
so
our NSA agent.
Wow.
let me just start by. I assure you, my friend, that you can safely vote our ticket. I'm reading the bubbles here. For we have no connection with the Abolition Party, but our platform is composed entirely of rails split by our candidate. It's no use, old fellow. You can't pull that wool over my eyes. I can see the nigger peeping through the rails.
Good lord.
Little did I think when I split these rails that they would be the means of elevating me to my present position. And it's I think that's Lincoln, and in the Republican platform. Because I don't know if people know this, but way back in the day, Republicans used to be more left-wing, and Democrats used to be more right-wing.
Yeah.
Yeah. They switched it.
And we used to have the Whig Party.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun.
Wasn't it the Federalists? No.
Yeah, the Federalists and the Whigs.
Yeah, I think you're right.
We had, I think the bull mooses for an election cycle, which was basically just Teddy Roosevelt. He was the party.
This ancient cartoon just demonstrates why we need to get the fuck away from the two-party system.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. But not only that, like this is real racism. Like, let's just have a couple demonstrations. I put another one, I think, after this, but just like a demonstration of real racism as opposed to all this nonsense that people are fucking whining about.
Yeah, no, it's really funny because the black guy just looks like a white guy who's been painted black.
Oh, yeah.
To me,
He looks crazed, too.
Yeah.
He looks like he's going to kill somebody.
He's got like a weird mustache and shit. Anyway, so the question here was, why do you feel that having one black friend makes you a cultural expert or not a racist? And my answer is, damn it all, I was supposed to only have one black friend? Damn. I'm so sorry. I guess I'm going to have to spend some time, damn it, fuck you. Spend some time thinking about stuff, and then I'm going to have to make some really awkward phone calls. I feel like this kind of thing is better done in person, but for the sake of time, this is how it has to be.
I can't be friends with you anymore. Why? Because you're black.
Well, and then the other question I have is, one of my cousins is black, so does he count as a friend, or can I still have my cousin and a friend?
No.
Oh, man, that sucks.
Family counts as the friend.
Yeah.
So here we go. This little thing is not particular. I know you're not particular to a fault, though I'm not sure you'll never be sued for assault. You're so fond of women that even a wench attracts your gross fancy despite her strong stench.
Wow.
That's
super fucking racist.
Nice poem.
Wow. I don't know how to feel about it.
Well, the whole point is these are to offset
slave owners that.
This is what real racism looks like.
A lot.
Oh, constantly.
In ninth grade, I was almost allowed to read White Man's Burden for poetry. We had to memorize the poem. She just caught it, though.
You started, and she was like, "Wait."
No. We had to first go up and approve it. Like, we had to find a poem that was, for most of us, the criteria was, is this short enough? Without, being 4 lines. And White Man's Burden fit that bill. I took it up to her, and she like, just as she was giving it back to me as an approval, she was like, "Oh wait, no."
Casey at bat, or something incredibly racist.
No, I ended up doing America by Claude McKay, I think, which is not racist. It's by a black guy. That's how you know it.
Yeah, really. That's how you know it's not
been reverse racist.
It's like racist free. It says it on the poem.
Yeah, and it was short, which is why I did it. It was only about 10 to 12 lines.
So the next question is your only black friend comfortable with being the reason why you can't be racist? And since, unfortunately, I haven't had time to narrow it down yet, I'm not sure yet. But once I've narrowed it down to only one black friend I'm allowed, I'll be sure to ask him or her and get back to you.
How do you feel being my token friend?
You know what? I'll answer. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'll take friends any way I can get them.
I don't know if I should feel happy about that or sad.
It's kind of like a sad statement. I like that.
Yeah, it's like
the whitest guy
like,
ever.
I'll take the friends, please. Give me
this picture has nothing to do with any of this. This is just the coolest guy I've ever seen.
It's the whitest guy I've ever seen.
Oh, definitely. And then the next question is, why do you feel comfortable cursing at your parents?
Because they're a bunch of fucking assholes.
Because I know my parents love me enough to teach me right from wrong with words and not violence.
You just don't commit.
Actually, I called my mom a bitch once when I was like 16, and she just slapped me right across the face really hard. Like, oh, I won't do that again. Why do you kiss your dogs on the mouth? Ew, that shit is gross. I don't do that shit.
Who the fuck does
some
that?
Creepy borderline bestiality shit right there.
The only kid I ever knew who did that was black. So there we go. Point disproven.
She looks like that dog is getting some tongue.
Yeah, this one looked really gross. That's why I picked it. Just something about it is creepy.
And, the dog isn't into it at all. She's got her eyes open. She's creeped out. She's definitely didn't get consent.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
This is so bad.
With dogs, is it 1 rough for consent, 2 for no?
So anyway, I'd like you all to try to pronounce this word right here.
Oh, okay, let's try.
Gropeygamers.
Any others? Just class or?
Kuvenzane.
Kuvenzane. I go with Kuvenzane.
It's like Kavangene.
Yeah, it's Kobachane. She's an actor, I think.
And so the question they had was, how come you can't pronounce black names like Kovanzane, but can pronounce names like Schwarzenegger, Galifianakis, and LaBouffe just fine?
Well, Galifianakis is
I've heard those names before.
Yeah.
You hear them pronounced.
Yeah.
Anyway, my answer was because Schwarzenegger, Galifianakis, and LaBouffe are famous, and the names are properly pronounced in the news with alarming amounts of regularity. So I hear those names said correctly, whether I want to or not.
And I still don't say Shia LaBeouf's name right. I never will.
Kovanjane isn't famous, and I have never heard that name before. These are the 5 pics that came up from Google image search for Kovanjane in order. There were only 5 pictures that came up when I searched that name, and these were those 5.
A bridge, a building.
Jennifer Lawrence.
This is a picture of like a Glee poster in some sort of subway.
Ah, okay.
Wow, that's...
Yeah, it's because that name, it has an accent on the E.
It is the same either way.
I like Kuvenzane.
I took the accent out because I couldn't put that in on all of the letters for some reason. But when I Google searched it, it has an accent. Try it. Google image search it. Well, and it also might have been copyrighted because these are all not copyrighted pictures or whatever.
Yeah, but Kuvenzane Wallace is a lesser-known actor. She was in like 1 or 2 well-known movies, maybe 3.
Oh, yeah, well, she's not as famous as the other guys. That's why you don't pronounce it regularly.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the next question. Why do you feel like all lions' lives matters, but black lives don't? My answer is I'm not sure what gave you the foolish impression that I think any lives matter, but you were gravely mistaken.
Aren't lions white?
I don't know, but they're fucking here.
They're African lions.
Oh, that's right.
Out of all the pictures you could possibly get.
Yep.
That sounds exactly like you.
Why would I not pick the one of lions fucking...
Yeah. Nature at its greatest.
Why is it so hard for you to acknowledge your privilege? Probably because the concept that you would be able to know how hard or easy my life has been and will be based on absolutely no evidence other than my skin color and gender is for some strange reason ridiculous. What's it like to be racist and sexist?
You should have added bitch at the end of that.
I, for one, am totally fine acknowledging the fact that white people usually have shit better. And I think that's a problem, and we should fix that.
I think that's bullshit.
Really?
I think some white people have things better, and
white
some
people
don't.
aren't getting shot by the police all the fucking time like black people are.
Well, it's not in the news, but white people are getting shot by the police all the time, too.
Yeah, but they're not being treated like black people are.
And here we go! Ding, ding, ding!
Welcome to Fantasyland, because it simply isn't true, dude.
Really?
I'll say that there's more.
I haven't seen any white guys get choked to death for selling cigarettes on the street, but I've seen black people.
Well, yeah, Stabby, you just read off that stat earlier that...
Are you really going to say that black people have it just as good as white people in America? Because
what I'm saying is you're generalizing and you can't generalize. There are specific instances where there are problems.
As a general rule, white people do have it better off than black people.
But it's not all white people. It's poor people have it really bad, and unfortunately,
but poor white people have it better than poor black people.
Category and live in poor neighborhoods. I think that it's more a case of poverty being used.
No, because poor white people get treated better than poor black people. There's still an element of
not substantially.
Yeah, I mean,
substantially.
You pulled up the stat earlier that blacks make up 50% of the prison population and only 10% of the regular population. That's an example.
It's an example, but I think that saying that white people have it easier than black people is a generalization that isn't realistic because some people are terribly poor and some people aren't.
Just like men have it better than women. And we can measure that with multiple different ways.
I also pointed out that stat was not really a justification for why black people should be viewed as criminals anyway. But
all right, I just don't.
I still think black people are treated worse than white people.
I don't really see the use in arguing that.
I feel like this is going to go back and forth, fellas.
Yeah, that's why I moved to the next slide. Anyway, how does it feel to not be the spokesperson for your entire race at any given time? And I answered that with about the same as it would feel to not be judged for the actions of an extreme minority of people I've never met, based entirely on the fact that I have the same color of skin as they do.
Angle was doing some weird shit. I had to tab over to him.
I can't see what he's doing. For those of you counting along at home, you'll note there were only 22 questions. That's because the video this was in response to didn't make it clear which questions were expository and which were of the 22, and a lot of those questions were really similar. Like they asked like the lion question, and they asked like 3 more that were after it, like they were just really almost the same question. So I wasn't sure if those were like part of the 24 or not.
Like a question within the question.
Yeah. They just kept asking more questions to like more define the original question. So I wasn't sure which ones were separate.
Okay.
Also, now that we can definitively state that racism is a human condition and not just something white people do, let's have a new KKK. One that includes all hateful people, no matter what their race. And here's an image of what that might look like. See, they all have the pointy hats.
I think they're just wizards.
Whatever, based on the color, that could be like whatever race you are versus whatever race you hate. Like they could color code it, so the KKK would all be like, they'd know.
A fire wizard.
Maybe we could all just put them in a pit or something, just in an enclosed area where they can't get out of, and we only let the last man standing out of the pit.
Yeah, really.
Fight for your lives.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there we go. So I got it. That was the end of that presentation. That was a long one too. Sorry about that.
So what about when a white guy commits the same crime as a black guy, but the black guy is going to get a sentence that's way more harsher for zero reason except that he's black?
And that's an example.
That's another example.
No, the case for that would be more that women tend to get lower prison sentences than men. There's really not much difference in race as far as prison sentences go.
No, it's about a black guy getting way worse sentences than white guys for the exact same.
Where's your evidence of that? Is it just because you said so, or?
No, it's because it's fucking everywhere. You can choose to ignore it, Stabby, but it won't make it go away.
Wait, I'm doing a Google search.
Yeah, we can Google search.
Yeah, I'm totally
willing to accept that.
I just like you just said it. That's not like something I've ever seen any evidence on.
Oh.
No, that's pretty consistent.
We say a lot of stuff that you don't bring any evidence.
Prison sentences of black men. Here, this is from the Wall Street Journal.
It
sentences
could be
of black
true.
men
were
absolutely true.
nearly 20% longer than those of white men for similar crimes in recent years.
Oh, wow, that's really bad.
Yeah, it's been that way for a long time, and it's not the only example. So that's why it blows my mind when we do news story after news story, week after week, of how black people are being mistreated by the police, and then you're like, black people got it just fine.
No, that's not what I said.
I
said I don't think white people necessarily have it better when dealing with the police. If you're talking about like poor people, when you're dealing with like rednecks and stuff like that, I think they get it just as bad.
No.
Or at least on a similar level.
And the evidence doesn't bear that out.
To be fair, like it's pretty hard to tell somebody's socioeconomic status as a police officer from just looking at them. Like if you're just.
Have you ever watched the television show Cops?
Yeah, sometimes.
I'm just going to go ahead and say that it's really easy to tell the difference.
Yeah, you can tell
between like a and a redneck poor guy. It's really easy to tell.
But a white redneck is way more likely to not get in trouble. Like regardless of, the fact that he's poor, just like a black guy might be.
Well, you're saying on a general basis. I'm saying on a case-by-case basis. I don't know that necessarily bears out.
Well, if you could,
poor people
are fucked regardless of race.
It kind of has to if that's the statistics.
Well, no, when it comes to sentencing and stuff, yeah, definitely that's wrong.
Like, if you pull out one isolated case of a black guy or a black interaction with the police and one of a white, it may.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, on that case-by-case basis.
If
you're saying in general, then okay, definitely.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
But I don't think it's. I don't think you can solve the problem by just saying that there's a general problem. If you look on a case-by-case basis, you can find out what the contributing factors are, and then based on that, you can look at what solutions could be.
We do treat all of these on a case-by-case basis. We don't have the black court where all the black people go to go to court.
That's not what I'm talking about. So if you look at what are the contributing factors that cause the police to abuse people in general.
It's just that when we add up all those cases together, there tends to be some troubling scenarios unfolding.
But when you look at what are the factors that go through everything that cause police to mistreat people, regardless of what race and what color and everything. What are the contributing factors to that?
I get what you're saying. Like, if correlation doesn't necessarily mean causation. So
yeah, and I'm saying it's the police are basically put into a position, and well, maybe not put into a position, but they tend to go after people who are below a certain poverty level. Now, it's really fucked up because a lot of black people fall under that poverty level, and there's a whole lot of other contributing factors to that. It's not just like there's the prison unions arguing with basically bribing like tougher, more ridiculous laws through in Congress. There's systematic like defranchisation essentially of a lot of people because they're poor, like they're just not represented at this point in Congress. There's so many other things. It's like, I don't know. I just don't like being like, oh, well, these people have it bad, because it doesn't really help anything. It's just like,
yeah, it brings attention to the fact that they have it worse, and then we look into the reasons why, and then we try to fix those.
Yeah, but it's like saying like breast cancer sucks. Yeah, we all fucking know that. Like everybody's
yeah, but obviously not enough people know how fucked up it is, because we still got people saying, oh, black people got it just as good as white people, and it's like, I just don't think that's the case. And the more that we try to say, oh yeah, there's no problem here, the longer the problem's going to remain. Like, we have to acknowledge that there's a problem before we're going to try to fix it.
Hi, I'm Class, and I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah, really.
Let's please not go to
AA. Change the subject.
Oh no, I was just trying to make a cheap AA joke because.
Oh, okay.
I really don't like AA.
We need to acknowledge the problem.
You do. The first step in fixing it is acknowledging that you have a problem.
Crazy. You've had AAs like you're allowed to prescribe that as a sentence. A judge is.
Yeah, it's basically religion too.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly
the fucked up part.
Mm-hmm.
You can opt to an alternative, but similar kind of counseling. Yeah. But for the most part, people go to AA. That's what one of your conditions of release.
I've seen judges sentence people to AA.
Yeah. I saw
that get challenged, and then they're like, okay, just any place where you can get help.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, why didn't you just do that in the first place?
Yeah, no, it's pretty biased towards AA. I watched that one episode of Penn and Teller, so I'm basically an expert. But
well, it
Penn
goes
and Teller
off.
Told me so.
It probably goes off of what's the most what's the strongest association or group.
Yeah, I think one of the
AA is definitely a strong one. It is religious oriented, and
that's the problem. Is you've got a government official endorsing a specific religious position at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do like the alternate route though. If anything that gets approved by the court, you can use that.
Yeah. Get help somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere that's effective.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and there's no statistics to show that AA is more effective than anything else.
No, not at all.
Because they hide them.
No, literally, it's the same effective rate as doing nothing.
No, we can't even figure that out because they literally won't release the statistics.
Yeah, and I think independent studies have been done, and they show it's about 5% that actually are able to quit alcohol or whatever.
Yeah,
So
independent
AA
studies
will
are
not
showing it's
release-
roughly the same as not doing AA.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Probably because AA doesn't ever look at what the root cause of your addiction is.
I'd like to hear a judge go, well, okay, you've got this drunken disorder, you got this DUI here, and you've got a couple of other shits just piling up. Don't do AA. That's your sentence. Gavel down.
Exactly. Great counter argument.
Just quit.
Yeah.
Just stop drinking.
You just don't.
That's
do it.
your sentence is to not drink.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, kind of is.
Figure out a way to make that happen.
Yeah.
You have to pretty much abstain from alcohol or any drug use.
So you pretty much
your ruling is to not drink.
Mm-hmm.
So
What
that's
the
gotta
fuck?
be
an abstinence only thing, isn't it? There's no oh, you can do it in moderation.
no.
It's like, no, you've lost that privilege.
I get the feeling this
God.
lady didn't have dinner ready in time or something.
Yeah. She looks like she doesn't listen well.
Oh Jesus!
So from what I can gather, this is just an interesting little one-off like story that didn't really get picked up by anybody.
Anglers had to slide out of frame after that one.
But apparently,
save any future job he might have.
Apparently, this woman like threw a drink at a guy and started assaulting him in a bar. And then got beat up somehow or another. I assume like a bunch of people got involved because it's a bar and just chaos reigns supreme as soon as the first drink is thrown. Especially past a certain hour, you're gonna end up with a bar fight every time.
Yeah, like that episode of the Boondocks where all you had to do to get a riot going was throw a chair in the air.
Yeah, really.
Shout out to Boondocks.
But then she turned around and did the typical feminist thing of like, all these men are super dangerous and they're evil and blah blah blah. Yeah. And it's like, but you started the fight. Like, I don't think they should have beat you up, but
yeah, it's like
Sally says the bitch asked for
you know.
It's like that analogy. If 10% of the M&Ms were poisoned, would you throw a drink at somebody at a bar?
10 of the what?
Oh, there's this picture.
Shout out to Eminem.
There's this picture going around. It was like a really anti-male thing. It was like, all right, so it assumed 10% of men are going to find some way to kill you, and it was like, hey, if there was a bowl of M&Ms and 10% of them were poisoned and were going to kill you, would you try a handful? Well, yeah. And that was the point. Like there was no.
M&Ms are coming to kill you.
I'd eat grapes. Grapes are healthier.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Let's all eat grapes.
They don't taste good, but you know.
It's just like there's no way you could know if these M&Ms are gonna, if these men are gonna kill you. There's no warning signs, or they're all the same. Except maybe some of them are blue and red, and that one's brown. But we throw those away because they're nasty.
White M&Ms are safe.
From everything that I've seen, when they talk about like women that end up getting like murdered by their partners, they're always super abusive, going right up until the point where they murder them. It's like there's always warning signs. It's never like, oh, this was just random at chance.
Yeah,
we could have seen it coming.
Like she came home and talked casserole again. Pow 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 pow.
Yeah, because
Bam.
that's how. Kazinga.
Are we doing the Big Bang Theory thing? Not on my.
We're doing Batman stuff.
No.
He said Bazinga, and that's not acceptable.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am a fan of the Big Bang Theory.
Oh, get the fuck
hell with you! No.
Get out of here.
No.
I didn't know this. I'm just finding this out.
I don't know. It just seemed like the right noise.
I love the Big Bang Theory.
Is that the
explains the current state of the universe very elegantly.
I wanted to see what this is all about. This looks pretty.
Hey, what's that about?
It's about a place. It's about a glacier.
Hey, pronounce that one.
Oh God, Patagonia.
Yep, Patagonia.
Oh, swish. So apparently it's a giant glacier.
Giant glacier.
The end.
Giant glacier.
So usually we have a part in this where some woman gets beat or raped or stolen. Where's
Remember,
that?
These are my stories. I actually try to go and give something good.
Is this just kind of like, oh, look at this beautiful landscape.
That's it.
Yes.
There was nothing else. It was just pictures.
I love that movie.
And news anchor got shot.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's not cool. What happened?
On the day before she retired or some shit.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awful.
She was getting too old for this shit.
Yeah, basically the guy who did it was like a Black Lives Matter guy, and he said the day after. It was like one of those events, or it was like the day after the Charleston shooting. I bought a gun. That's what he said, or tweeted, or whatever. And then he wrote a manifesto just like the other guy and went and shot some white people. So
basically, he was just as crazy, and somehow that triggered his fucking mental illness.
He was leveling the playing field. He was evening the score.
So just as crazy.
Yeah.
He's innocent, damn it.
Just as crazy in the other direction.
Yeah.
Crazy in the fucking head. Yeah.
Crazy equals itself out.
This is
but it's not his fault.
Tragic.
It's the gun's fault. If guns didn't exist,
well, yeah,
it's not like he would have stabbed a bunch of people.
Then we would have been killing each other with sticks and rocks and swords and all other sorts of whatnot. We'll find a way to kill each other.
stab a bunch of people than it is to go around with the AK and shoot a bunch of people.
But this one's even worse than the Charleston shooting because instead of 8 black people, he shot a pretty white woman.
Oh yeah, really is getting more coverage because of that? Because I haven't heard.
No,
that's worth 10 black people shooting.
I mean, I have no idea on which one's more popular, but I can imagine they're probably going to get both a good amount of coverage. Why would the Charleston shooting get anything less?
No,
I haven't heard anything about either, to be honest. So
it probably got a bit more, but it's going to be like the same CNN thing for 2 to 3 days, maybe even a week, depending on how long
slow
they can milk this.
Is.
Yeah, they're just going to milk this out.
Also, he was a reporter, so I can kind of understand other reporters wanting to give her more coverage.
Yeah. But no, they're going to
I'm a reporter, she's a reporter,
and overanalyze every single bit of this. This is the victim's family. This is the killer's family.
Oh yeah, that's always super fun. Yeah. Always makes for a good time.
And I like when they do the 3D models of what happened. It's like, this is the building, and now you can see the killer came outside the door, and he raised his gun up. The police think he raised his gun up, and then shot several times.
If you weren't afraid enough, let's show you what it would have looked like.
Yeah.
I mean, the tragic thing. I mean, I think they were filming when it happened.
Yeah, they were.
And so there's an actual video to go with it. And I saw it this morning, which is just...
I was too scared to click on that, man. I thought I was going to be traumatized.
Watching someone die,
it's not fun.
Don't do that.
I heard the screaming was awful.
Yeah, it's not a fun experience.
All right, fine. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
You convinced me. I have to.
I don't try to convince people, I swear. It's just a warning. Warning.
Big Bang Theory watching son of a bitch can bear it, I can too.
Oh, good for you. You'll never get out of your head. That's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna be thinking about this for the next 22 years, but at least I matched that Big Bang Theory fan.
So
that night after the podcast, he was never the same again.
He was a sick bastard from now on.
It turns out Deez Nutz was not a real candidate.
Say it right. Say it right. Come on.
Presidential
Deez Nutz.
Is actually a 15-year-old Iowa farm boy who gamed the filing system.
Well, yeah.
He was polling at 9% in North Carolina for president of the United States.
Yeah.
These nuts don't exist.
These nuts.
Yeah, according to a public polling policy survey released Wednesday, almost 1 in 10 Tar Heel State voters were raised between Nutz, Donald Trump, and Hillary Clinton.
That may be the best poll question ever. How do you feel about these nuts?
Unfavorable opinion of these nuts.
God, I think I found my career path. It's not as president of the United States, but as a pollster.
Oh man, I just thought I had to share that with you because I don't remember where I found that, but that was pretty fucking awesome. And here you have this was the result: 38% for Hillary Clinton, 40% for Donald Trump, 9% for Deez Nutz, and 12% for not sure.
Oh man,
my God.
We need to get the not sure's on board with Deez Nutz.
Oh man, 12% of people couldn't figure out if they wanted
the American
Deez Nutz.
America!
Fuck yeah!
Oh man, that is just amazing. That's a hell of a smart kid.
Yeah,
or not a smart kid, just a smart ass kid.
No, hey, either way
I've
works.
written down Deez Nutz before.
I think later on that week he endorsed Bernie Sanders officially.
Sex with robots.
Dropped out of the race and endorsed good old Bern.
Holy shit!
Stepping off the cornerstone of Stabby's talks.
That one's gonna kill me.
Yeah, sex with robots to be the norm in 50 years, expert claims.
And then it takes your soul.
So, Dr. Helen Driscoll apparently said that not only is that going to be like the most likely event, like in 50 years it'll be sex with robots, it'll be the normal, but that it would actually be perfectly fine and healthy.
Oh. So this is one
because you don't have another human being fucking up everything. You just got a robot.
Yeah.
So this isn't one of those, oh, it's icky to me, so it's bad.
No, she was just like, well, as long as humans can't really tell the difference, they'll get that love and affection they need, and they'll be happier for it.
But what about when
totally
they start?
Fine with it.
What about when they start raping the robots?
So if
oh god, robot rights
and raping the robot children,
movement.
Child molestation.
What happens if the robot has a virus?
What
robot lives matter.
Yeah, really,
biological
lives matter.
Otherwise.
You gotta watch out.
Yep.
What about when humans are the robots?
What?
Like I imagine.
Cyborg.
Yeah, I imagine we're gonna be cyborgs within the next century or two.
God, I want to be a cyborg. I just want to be in a cartoon, really. But if it
you just want to be on Teen Titans.
Yeah, I just want to be on Teen
Hell
Titans.
yeah.
If it means sacrificing half of my body, fine. Just make it the left side.
Yeah, you don't want to get rid of your right side. That's your
better yet,
side.
Better yet, make it my right side because I throw with my left hand.
Oh, you're a lefty?
I don't write with my left hand, but I play sports with them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fuck yeah.
Lefties in the house.
Lefties.
Freak.
Yeah, that's why I'm so creative and.
Don't worry, class. When you're a cyborg, we can fix that.
No.
We can fix that. Nice.
We have programmed your brain to be right side, or I guess left brain.
Wait,
whatever.
I think I'd only have one side of my brain left though, if one side of my body was gone. Or is that how cyborg works?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I never read the comics.
Shut
Don't
up,
even think
You just watched the show.
Yeah, I just watched the show. The show's fun.
Oh yeah, Teen Titans was the bomb.
Theology of rape, huh?
I hate the new version. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put it out there right now. The new version that they have out is awful.
I actually really like it. Like I went into watching it with no expectations, and it's kind of funny. I don't know.
Like if you have really low expectations, it's not that bad.
It's like it's like going to watch Terminator Genesis. If you haven't seen the other Terminators, it's okay. It's a good standalone movie.
Just don't go into it with your hopes up.
Yeah.
Really.
It's the modern era. Wise up.
So I figured we should probably, before we end, at least have some Islamophobia.
And some rape.
Yeah, we touched on everybody else. Why not the filthy Arabs?
So,
Lord.
Essentially, what's going on is a lot of the Islamic states now in the Middle East are encouraging people to, as a form of religious practice, rape girls of other religions if they can catch them.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, essentially what they'll do is they'll explain why it's not a sin and why it's religious. They'll pray, then they'll rape the girl, and then they'll pray again.
Oh God. And it feels like every show I say this, but this reminds me of when the people go on the news and say, well, there's 1,500 deers out here. We need to cut that number down. Like we need to cut down the number of infidels out here. Let's rape Let's rape the heresy out of them. That'll do it.
Yeah.
I mean, religions have been doing this forever. You go in,
you're right.
You devastate people, you rape. You
breed out the people that aren't what you want there.
You raise the children in a new religion, and then they're part of your religion now. Yeah.
The Spanish are particularly infamous for that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but they
basically fucked their way across the world. Like they were just like, fuck everything.
They're very passionate.
I'm surprised there aren't like donkeys with like predominantly Spanish features, like running around at this point.
It's funny because at that time the Spanish royalty was incredibly inbred. to the point where there was one king, Charles the something, and he had I got to show you a picture if I can find one.
You get some of these inbred monarchs that like elect their favorite horse into positions of power.
Charles the
just
something.
that fucked up.
Okay.
Well, that's part of the reason why voting for leaders has become such a popular thing, is because at a certain point that becomes painfully obviously stupid.
Yep, here. This is how he looked. He had that prominent chin, the big lips. See, this disproves that point that they made. Big lips on a white person are not attractive. They're not particularly attractive on anybody.
That's the man in the moon.
Is that like Jay Leno's chin?
Yeah, I think.
Like,
I think.
Lord.
We got it. He's related to royalty. We always
that does look like Jay Leno, with long hair, and probably funnier.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, but
go back. Wait, what? Okay.
You hadn't seen this?
No.
Oh, this is funny.
God. This actually ended up on TV. Like they literally had like an interview on TV with this bitch.
I've never heard of air conditioning being sexist.
And the thing about the person who wrote this article for the Telegraph basically copy and pasted this article from somewhere else. So it wasn't even her original idea.
Whoops. Yeah. Plagiarism.
Yeah, but she ended up on TV for it, so that's why she's known as the air conditioning lady.
So why is air conditioning sexist again?
Because women are colder than men, and apparently that's sexist because the men should turn the AC down to suit the women.
Those frigid whores out there. Yeah. I mean,
I always look at it as like you can't just start taking clothes off in the office to get cooler. So like, but you can put on a sweater. So really, what's the fucking gripe?
Yeah, and a good amount of why the air conditioning is like that is because of the computers and stuff in there. It's just
it's more to keep the equipment from failing than anything else.
It's not for the people, it's for the machines.
It's been my experience that women prefer more air conditioning.
Oh, well,
your experience is wrong.
It was like, she wrote the article based entirely on her own personal experience and based on absolutely no other information.
No, it was there wasn't like some kind of study or something that women
was there
find.
A study?
Yeah,
I thought it was okay.
Women think 72 degrees is colder than men do, or whatever.
And I always hear bitching about how the air conditioner's not on enough. From like
I'm not seeing her link to it. Damn, you have to link me to that study because that sounds hilarious.
No, I don't. He didn't cite it at all because it's the Telegraph and. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah. That sucks. I kind of want to read that study because it sounds like it's like 10 people stood around in a room and just started drinking.
Yeah, well, I doubt the study. I doubt the study implied what she did, or it implied what the person.
Oh yeah, whereas the study had an entirely different implication.
Yeah. The study was like, these are the facts of what we found when we asked these people these things, and then somebody wrote about it and implied that it was sexist, and she was like, yes, that's sexist. I'll copy that article verbatim.
She copied it verbatim. That's hilarious.
That's my favorite thing when someone gets a hold of some sort of data and then completely,
like the campus rape statistic that goes around over and over and over.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that study was done on like only 2 universities and a very small percentage of people even in those 2 universities.
Yeah. And half the time they'll be like, here's the information and here's the conclusion, and then the people will be like, I'm disregarding the conclusion that the experts came up with. Here's the information and here's how I interpret it.
Yeah, it's like that whole thing about the it's exactly that with the Shield Maiden thing. They found a couple of experts found 14 the bodies of 14 Viking women buried with swords and shields, and they were like, this probably doesn't mean much, but everybody else took it to mean 50% of the Viking women, or the Vikings were women.
You can easily extrapolate from one single scenario.
Yeah, and at the end of the study, and the
who needs large quantities of study groups?
In the abstract,
wouldn't it be more likely that they would have a specific area where women who decided to be warriors were generally sent to?
Buried or something. Yeah.
Or buried, one or the other.
The conclusion the expert came to, not only in the abstract, which is like a little blurb before, basically summarizing, but in the conclusion was, this probably means nothing. This is it's probably just a coincidence, and you guys can, do what you want with this, but we're wasting our time out here.
There could be a number of reasons why they would bury a woman with like a sword, though. Maybe like she died before her husband, and he thought it would be like a gesture or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the people arguing we're basing this on what other cultures have done. So basically, in other cultures, if you're buried with a sword, you're a warrior. So they were like, hey, this must mean that they were warriors because, Nordic culture and Persian culture is the same.
But even if they were warriors, maybe they just defended, like, the fucking homestead while the dudes were out from, like, some bandits. And they were like, oh, I'm burying with swords. It's cool.
Yeah.
Like, they deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Bitches were tough.
I feel like
there could be a bunch of warrior Viking, female warrior Vikings.
That's possible,
why
too.
not a band of ass-kicking women? Come on.
Yeah. Let's just
that sounds plausible.
Yeah, just like on a Mystery Science Theater.
That's actually being serious.
Well, I mean, the thing to remember when it comes down to like combat, like that type of combat, like the hand-to-hand stuff or with like swords and shit, is height and weight usually wins. Like training can play a part in it, but height and weight really has a bigger impact.
Yeah.
So like like a lot of the people who were really, really famous warriors were like freakishly large compared to everyone else at that time.
And morale has a big part of it. Like most people in battles only die because they got scared and started running.
Oh yeah, well, especially when you're like talking about like conscripts and stuff, because conscripts in those days were like a bunch of really scary guys rode into your town and grabbed all your kids, put swords in their hands, and drove them at the enemy, hoping that they would kill some of them on their way to death. Like, well, maybe they'll take a few with them, and it'll just make our job easier.
Shout out to Persia.
Most of wars were just finding an innocent village, an undefended village, burning it to the ground, and then hoping that people would like you more because of it. It's like, hey, the logic was, hey, that other king isn't defending me, so this king, he knows where it's at.
It's like the mafia protection.
Yeah,
like you need protection from me or from someone else, whatever.
Good Lord. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, I think this proves that the episode of Mystery Science Theater, Viking women versus the sea serpent or some shit, I think this just proves it all true.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mystery Science Theater is absolute truth. It should be held in the same regard we do the Bible, in my opinion. Just an opinion that I'm passing off as fact.
The true and right opinion.
Yes.
The one and only truth.
Let's make that perfectly clear right off the bat.
Amen. Oh,
man.
I don't know. Maybe I've already shared this, but they found the flying spaghetti monster.
Finally.
Oh yeah. It's like an underwater jellyfish thing or something.
Yeah.
I'm vindicated.
Hold on, I'm getting an article now.
Where's my fucking stripper volcano beer thing?
I've believed in him without evidence for years, but now I can finally be justified.
So one of the gods is right, and it's surprise, surprise to nobody. The flying spaghetti monster.
It's delicious looking.
And here it is. It's a deep sea jellyfish, in all its noodly glory.
Oh, it's a jelly
with gigantic testicles.
Ramen.
Yeah, I think it's funny.
Not ramen, noodles. It's noodles, not ramen.
I think
no, that's what you say instead of amen when you're praying to the spaghetti.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. My apologies. I don't know the process.
Sauce be upon him.
Heretics up in this bitch, man.
I'm sorry, not following the Almighty.
Shun the non-believer.
Yeah, and the right two people ended up finding it. Some BP workers with a good sense of humor, and they named it Flying Spaghetti Monster. So
that's fucking beautiful. They really
nice.
Yeah, that's what they named it. So flying.
It's permanent now. Nobody gets to change it. That's fucking awesome.
No. So here's my theory: Flying Spaghetti Monster put them on this Earth just so they could discover him and name him Flying Spaghetti Monster.
And then that would prove that he's real.
Yeah.
You know what's the best part about that? Someday, some dude with a really good voice and a British accent for a documentary is going to have to be saying, and here we have the Flying Spaghetti Monster. That's the best part of that story.
They're going to come up with a more dignified name, I'm guessing.
And the world was good.
I wonder if they're just going to translate that name into Roman for its like technical sciencey name.
It'd be like Roman for Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Yeah, something like that. Genus Flying Spaghetti. Well, all right, we're pretty much done here. We're resorting to gong noises, so I'm going to end it. And we're also we went exactly 4 minutes over. I don't know why I stopped for the applause. I could just talk over it. But we went exactly 4 minutes over. 4 minutes over our 1 hour limit, so we're expecting that to be reimbursed by the audience. Okay, goodbye.